two, three, four. What to talk about? What to talk about? This is a talk show. I know. Let's see what YouTube has to say about it. Hello, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show, the first show to invite you, yes, you, to be a live video guest right here on this show to talk about anything, be it the topic of the day, be it some of my old videos, current events, personal projects, or you just want to sit and chew the fat. Joining is easy. You see this right here? That is a link. There's also one in the description box. Hit that, connect to Zoom. I'll see you come up and we'll bring you on the show. If that sounds awesome, now's a great time to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss another show. I am Jim, your host, and I'm here to listen and learn to and about you. So, got to looking at some videos today. One of the toughest parts about doing this sort of show is coming up with topics. My goal is to provide a topic of the day every single show. Now that's 5 times a week minimum, and that can be an arduous task, right? I've got other stuff to do. I got to put food on the table. I got to think about, what I'm going to talk about with individual guests that may not be the topic of the day. So, it was awesome today. One of my notifications, Nick Nimmin. I see him as somewhat of a mentor at this point. Popped in with a video notification, and it was let's see. 10 ways to get ideas for new videos. And I thought, well, I don't normally do, individual videos, although I do the guest cuts, but that's all, based on the live show itself. But I thought, okay, let's just go ahead and listen. And I did, and it was awesome. One of the first tips he shared was, why not go to the YouTube search bar, type in something that's somewhat relevant, and use those search terms. I'm going to get back up on the screen here. Those search terms to drive your idea. Get your juices flowing. Right? I thought, oh, how perfect if you're doing videos on a regular basis, but they're pre-recorded. Perfect idea. Absolutely perfect idea. And I thought, I can make that work here, can't I? So what I've done is I've decided to, and this is one of those fun things that I'm toying with as I get deeper and deeper into this, to make interesting content, to help people with getting their message out. I mean, that to me is of utmost importance. I want people to come on the show. I want them to be able to tell their story, whatever that story may be, even if they don't have a story, just to, get on and talk about whatever is important to them. Lord knows I don't have a problem with that, but imagine trying to come up with a different subject, 5 times a week minimum. That's some tough crap there. So, one of the fun things I decided to do was to open this up to 2 places. One, if you've got topic ideas, tell me down in the comments section. That will be the question of the day, or the task of the day. And I'll try to remember to put that in the pin in the comments. But I'm leaving it to you to throw out some ideas. What do you want to talk about? What do you think I might know a little bit about and want to hear my opinion on it? That happens all the time. What do you want to learn more about? What do you want to talk about? Boom, we're on it. But tonight, we're going to do something kind of fun here. We're actually going to use the Google search bar. And I am going to, going to pop something in there, and 2, I'm probably going to talk about it. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think it can only go wrong from here? We'll never know until we try. So I thought, how about we try maybe the standard question: who, what, where, when, why, and what? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Is that right? Well, we're going to start with who, right? Just to see. So if I type in who, you see what we're getting, right? Already we've got Who Let the Dogs Out by the the Baha Men. Who Want the Smoke? What? Whose line is it anyway? We know that. That's an impromptu comedian show, kind of an ad lib. Who You Say I Am Hillsong. Now, I defy you to make a video about that. I absolutely defy you to make a video about that. Let's and it stays that way too. So if I go back in here and whoops, I did a search. Gosh dang it. Didn't mean to do that. So if I just do, see, now it changed. Who Up Church are they talking about? No, it's Eric Church. I don't know what Up Church. Who's Suki? Who Jacques? The Who, Teenage Wasteland. Now that's something I can get my teeth into. Although I never really considered myself a serious Who fan. It just wasn't in the cards for me. Well, that didn't turn up as many as I would have liked. If I go back and just do okay, now it's back to where it was. So if I kill this, put my 0 back in, now we're back to it. So Who Let the Dogs Out? Let's just start with that one. And like I said, that was that was the Baha Men that put that out. Let's find out for sure. I don't really have a dog in this hunt, but because it's not not my kind of music. It got all it just made waves for forever. Seems like, and it's still played in so many arenas and theaters, whatnot. Yeah, the Baha Men, Who Let the Dogs Out. Original version. That's their video. Just Dance Now. Who Let the Dogs Out? Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else to say about that except that I think it's a lot like the Cops theme if you watch Fox at all. And Bad Boys, what you gonna do? It's funny if you go look at their other music, if you go listen to their music, it doesn't sound anything like that particular song. I have to imagine that the Baha Men are the same way, although I don't know for sure. And you know what? I'm not going to find out. You can, if you'd like to. So if we go back, to the main, the main YouTube page, and aside from that dog, if we do see what we can come up with here. Oh, what does the fox say? I should be playing that video right now. What would you do? That's not a video. What is love? Now, don't make me shake my head like who are? It's not the Korskin Brothers. Korskin Brothers. That's a different comedy duo. Oh, who is it that Will Ferrell and what's his name plays on? It had the characters from Saturday Night Live that did the Who is Love? Baby, don't hurt me. I don't know. So we're not going to do that one. So what else do we have under what? What I got for Christmas in 2018. What men want trailer. What if I'm the monster? Oh, what a wonderful. Yeah. What's up, Danger? What does that mean? Okay. Oh, that was kind of a dead end. Now, you could probably, and I still think Nick's idea is fantastic, because if I was creating videos let's try that as an experiment. Why not? Let's say I was oh shoot, come back to me. Let's say that what's a good hobby that that I could be involved in, and we could try to do a search on that hobby. What hobby? Give me one, just any of them. I don't care. I am live, am I not? Okay. Of course, public view. Why is nothing happening on the public view? I am live. YouTube is broken, my friends. YouTube is broken. Now here's how I do this. I do an event, start encoder, preview, stream. You're live. I literally have to. There's another step that I have to take before I can actually go live, and then I go live, and it says, I'm streaming. I've been streaming for almost 11 minutes now. Good stream. Preview. It's my slide. Public view. It's my slide. Coin collecting. Very good. Hey, Jackson Draws and Muscle Car Appraisal. Welcome, guys. Coin collecting. That's an excellent one. So let's type in coin collecting, shall we? Oops. And I don't normally have the caps on. Coin collecting for beginners. Well, that's a video idea, of course. Coin collecting coin values. Awesome. Tips. Documentary. Well, documentary, you probably have to think about a long form. Coin collecting pennies. Coin collecting for fun. If you throw a read between the lines there. Coin collecting software. Probably not. Coin collecting supplies. And the last one is coin collecting 101. You can't see it because I don't have it. I have it too tight for you. Now that one worked. That one was ideal. If I was a coin collector, a numismatist, and I was looking for video ideas, boom, there's a ton of them right there. And I'm sure if you put in variations of that, you'll get even more. If we get more granular, coin collecting, let's say novice, right? No, that did nothing. Let's back it up and see what we got. Noise? Oh, really? Nickels, name, noise. Okay, well, that didn't work. Coin collecting, let's just do value. Yeah, well, didn't get that granular. Okay, well, that's fine. Still, there's a ton of ideas in that drop down. Not so much for me. Not so much for me. So we have to search a little harder for that. I stopped with what? Now let's go to where. Okay. And in where we have, every time I do this, I change focus, which is why the drop down goes away. Where are you, Christmas? What? Yeah, how to is a good one. Muscar appraisal. That is a good one to try. Where's the love again? Are a lot of these people searching? Here's the one thing that I forgot to mention at the top of this show. What this actually is supposed to emulate are search phrases that people are actually searching for. And we all know that it's really Google, but in YouTube, which is the second largest search engine. I'm sure the databases cross, and there's a lot of sharing of that sort. But Google tries to, or Yahoo tries to populate that dropdown with the most popular recent searches. And the reason it does that is because it figures if you're going to search on something close to that subject, you're more than likely going to want that long tail. That's what that's called. Search terms that are longer than a single or a two-word phrase are called long tail phrases. So it tries to guesstimate based on what you type in as to what it shows you. That way it saves you typing. It also kind of guides you along, right? It's like, all right, most people are, when they create their content, they try to use keywords and keyword phrases, the long tails, that are relevant to that content and relevant to potential searches. If you're doing true SEO, that's exactly what you do, is you go and look at and find out what people are actually searching. Then you use that data to bolster your content without keywords stuffing. Do not do. It's gotta read as though it were a magazine or book. You can't just start throwing, coin collecting, and here's where I went coin collecting, and this is why coin collecting, and so you can't do that because then it doesn't read like a normal person would read it or write it. And keep that in mind whenever you're doing your tags or your description text, because that is very, very important in the way that search engines pick up on your content. There you go. SEO tip of the day. I got a million of them, folks. Stick around. Yeah, let's. Muscle Car Appraisal says how to. Let's try how to. How to. How to tie a tie. See, now I could probably make an entire video on how to tie a tie. Just to sit here and maybe grab one of my old ties. I don't wear ties. I'm such a casual guy. What you see me in right now, these fleeces, I wear 98% of the winter time. Even tonight when it's supposed to dip below zero and be awful here in central Indiana. and jeans and tennis shoes, right? That's me. But I do have ties. I do have suits. I do have, I have business casual clothes, but I rarely wear them. That's what makes working for myself such a great thing, because I don't have to go into an office every day. I don't have to keep up appearances. People hire me because of what I know and how well I complete tasks, that sort of thing. So, bonus plan. But yeah, I could probably sit here and do an entire show on ties. So let's go back and find out the how-tos again. How to draw. Hey, Jackson Draws, look at that. See, here's where it would help someone like you, Jackson Draws. You could use this to use in your keyword phrases and even create an entire video on how to draw. Or that's perfect for you, dude. Perfect. Oh, and the rest of them, how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Well, I guess if you were a pro at the Rubik's Cube, which I never was, that was one of those things you'd pick up and back in my day, because that's when they came out. Most of you guys weren't even around when they started rolling out to the shelves for the first time. And of course, everybody had one. Made that company or that dude, just a ton of. Probably is still just sitting back, sipping on Mai Tais. It's some, on the island he bought from that money, or they bought. But yeah, we got them, and where was I? He distracted me with that one, muscle car. Yeah, but all we would do is we'd bring those things home. We'd solve one side, boom, we toss it away. Now, some of the more adventurous folks, they went all out and learned how to solve it in seconds, I will say. Not minutes, but seconds. It's amazing. You want me to type in how to upload a YouTube video? There you go. I didn't even have to finish it. How to upload videos on YouTube. And you see all of the references to YouTube. You know what that tells me? That tells me that if you're like a YouTube helper, honestly, like Nick Nimmons and like video creators and who are the other guys that I kind of watch occasionally. But if you're in that genre, that's a tough one to crack, because there's probably 1,000 different videos on that alone, and that's a tough climb, man. When you're battling between like content, that is brutal. That is a brutal place to be, honestly. So using that as an example, and I don't know how we got off on this, but using that as an example, if we went back to this, we could probably find a gem in here. If you were really good at producing and uploading videos from all different sorts of, not platforms, but all different sources. Well, you could find like one of these Xbox One. I can't imagine that there's a great deal of competition for that. How to upload a thumbnail on an iPhone. I actually talk to a lot of people that wonder how can I make my thumbnails? Well, if you figure that out on an iPhone, that's a great piece of content, I would think, to throw out there, and you can use that phrase in marketing that video. Oh, well, have we figured out a topic for me tonight? I don't think we have. I don't think we have. So we skipped ahead to how, but what was my last one? What? No, where? Yeah. You don't think so? Here, how to. Whoops. Uh, nope, it was kind of a one-off. But you can't tell me still. I mean, this isn't even where I would, me personally, whenever I do SEO, I don't use YouTube as my go-to for keyword phrases. Honestly, if you can set up an AdWords account, you don't have to actually buy ads on Google or anything like that, but you can have an AdWords account. Doesn't cost anything. And when you go in there, some of the tools, or there's actually a tool called, I think it's Keyword Planner nowadays is what they call it. It used to just be a keyword tool, and that allows you to put in certain phrases, and then if you have the settings set right, and it's not hard to do, it's all pretty intuitive, and you tell it to search, it'll come down with all sorts of variations on that same theme and how many people are searching for it, the approximate competition for that particular keyword phrase. That's what I use. I mean, that's straight from the horse's mouth. And although we all know that it's not an exact science, and they're not going to give away the ghost because that opens it up to manipulation, I still have to believe that they have a certain they have skin in the game, as it were, because they have to make sure that their advertisers are getting in front of the right people. So from that perspective, it has a lot of value and has to be at least as close to correct as one would hope. It's actually the best source. There are hundreds of people out there that will tell you that they'll data mine and give you exact, but you can't really believe them because Google is not going to give. Google, Bing, Yahoo, they are not going to give you exact search habits. They just won't do it, and they don't do it because they don't want people to game the system. The more information you have, the more granular information you have about that sort of thing, is exactly the type of information you need to spam or game the system. They try to avoid that because their job, as in their mission statement, is to provide the best search results for their customers, and the customers you and me. Now you can say anything you want to about that, and you can get pissed off about it, but right, what are you going to do? Ask for your money back? It's a free service. So even though I have a lot of qualms with Google and YouTube and Bing and all of these tech giants, I still have to say that they are the 800-pound gorillas in the room, and you've got to play by their games today. So, yeah, Champworks Garage says how to change a tire, change your oil, change your brakes, etc. Huge search terms for automotive-related videos across a large portion of the population. There absolutely is. And doesn't that surprise you? I mean, the more complicated automobiles become, it seems like the less people are actually willing to dive in. Used to be, you buy a vehicle, you open up the hood, and if you had to change spark plugs, you jump in and sit on the fender and do so. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. Most of them are transverse. Most of them are so tight that you literally need to either bump the motor mounts just to get it up high enough to get one side out, and maybe the other one you'll have to take most of the the like injection and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna have to take off in order just to get to that other bank or both. I mean, they're so tight. I call it job security for the car dealerships, and even they don't want to jack with it. What they'll do is if it comes to let's say it's a, a sensor inside the timing cover, oftentimes if they'll just charge you an arm and a leg because there's so much to do just to get to that $20 sensor. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. So yeah, you're right, Champworks Garage, and yet I'm still befuddled. I still can't figure out why it's so popular. And maybe it's a resurgence to the older vehicles that are user serviceable that drives that sort of thing. I know, like your channel in particular, you've got some early vehicles on there. Now the Explorer doesn't count, but certainly your Broncos do. And I can certainly see there being a huge thirst for that sort of information. Same way with muscle car appraisal. When you have a classic vehicle, many people are restoring them themselves and don't know what to do from then. From that point forward, well, it's obvious you've got to find out the value in that. One, to make sure that you're insurancing it, or you've got it covered, right, with insurance for the proper amount. And that was a ramble that led me nowhere. Oh, such is my life, unfortunately. So yeah, it just amazes me that people are so interested in it. I wonder if it's a whole lot of lurkers, not people that actually work on vehicles, but they just dig watching it. I know there are certain genres of videos that I just love to watch and don't necessarily think that I'll ever get involved in. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Well, I love it's I've turned into a car accident aficionado, so I watch a lot of those for some weird reason. They put me right to sleep. I don't know what it is about those. How weird is that? But yeah, so I'm at a loss again. Here I am thinking about videos that I watch, and there are others that I really can't go into because it may introduce bias, and I don't want to do that. But that whole watching something, even though it's something you just don't care to do or can't do, I think drives a lot of that. Champworks, and you let me know if you think I'm right on that. But it's got to be that way. It's got to be that way. Oh. Oh, I've been so busy of late. That's one of the reasons I didn't have a topic of the day tonight. I just didn't have time to put one together. Going through so many web development proposals for a client, and it's just taking up all my time. Hell, I got a laser in for my CNC, a laser head, and it's been sitting. Actually, it's sitting in a box right over here, and it has been for the last week or two. I just don't have any time to do it. Well, a movement, going back to Champworks, a movement for, you mean the DIYers on YouTube, or the people watching being the DIYers? Because I think people like to watch other people do stuff. Take Chucky, was 2009. There's a good example. Now, a lot of the stuff I do, but I'm not going to make my own clamps. Just don't have time for that. But it's interesting to watch him go through that process. Now, as you know, I've got a tractor. He has tractors, and he works on them. I dig watching those, even though my tractor doesn't currently need any work. Yeah, so that's got to be part of the driving mechanism behind that. That's what I would think. But wow, we've really moved off the subject here. So yeah, you're right. Muscle car appraisal. They do not. There was no, there was no long tail, or there was no extension to that long tail. Um, that keyword. Oh, but listen to this. Just knowing. I'm going to go back to that real fast. Just knowing that there is no long tail on there tells me, should tell us that nobody else is producing videos for that either. Now, and I haven't done a search. In fact, let's go ahead, and I'll have to pop this into a new window. Let's go ahead and actually do a search and see if there are any videos that surround that. Give me just a moment here. I could do it in the original, but then I would have to. It would pull me out. So, okay, we'll do a local desktop. Choose OK. Whoops. We'll do Firefox. Okay. Okay, so if I take this full screen and we actually do a search for how to value your Mustang. All right, now the first one we see is here's why the 2018 Ford Mustang GT is worth $38,000. That's not how to value your Mustang. How much my 2018 Ford Mustang GT cost to buy? That's not valuing your Mustang. 2017 worth the price? Nope. 2018 GT specs and price? Nope. I doubled my Mustang value? Nope. Took my brand? Nope. Ford Mustang Buyer's Guide and Depreciation Analysis? Not sure there. But that's one of the points, though. I'm not sure. And there should be more, sir. How to properly lower? Nope. Convertible in-depth review? Nope. Collecting. Now collecting, this one in particular, might. How to buy a Ford Mustang dealer cost? Nope. Mustang India? Wow. I wonder how many rupees a Mustang cost you. Brand new car back? Nope. Cheapest Ford Mustang? Nope. So what does that tell you, Mustang? I'm sorry, muscle car appraisal. Let me tell you what that tells a search engine optimization guy and a search engine marketer. That tells me that that void needs to be filled. If I were you, you could probably do this on every classic car or every muscle car, because I know you're both classic and late models, but you could probably do that for every one of those models, maybe the high level ones, right? Like Mustang, boom, and then talk about the different variations with that in that line and even different years. You can talk about the Challenger and the Charger and the Duster, and the list goes on and on. You could do how to on that very subject, and I bet that would kill. And I'm going to tell you why it would kill. Not because people really want to learn how to appraise their Mustang. They'd just be interested in the process. So I would do it. I would absolutely do it. Check this out. You piqued my interest. Oh, wow. Did I just pop off? No. Okay. Yeah. Tell me the cookies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's probably a really good read. I don't have time to do it now. I would bore the hell out of you guys if I just sat there and read it. But thanks for the link, Champs Work Garage. That does look very interesting. I'm going to check it out. But back to what I was saying before, muscle car appraisal. I hope you're still watching. I don't know why I can't see how many people are here. Oh, that's so frustrating. You go to do an event. If I did it on the long-standing key, I can watch the video live, and I can also see who's participating in the chat. When you do an event, you get garbage. You just all you can see is your slide and the chat. Fix it, YouTube. Please fix it. Fix your live channel. Do something, will you? It's not like you don't have the staff. So anyway, so muscle car appraisal. I hope you're still with us. And if not, I'll go ahead and email Bob, who set us up to do our collaboration there. About oh yeah, still here. Good. Yeah. If you didn't hear me during your switch, what I was saying was that since I went through all of the how to value your Mustang sites, and I'll quickly go right back into that. and I didn't see one video that said how to value your Mustang. So what that tells me, and I apologize to those of you who just heard this. What that tells me is that there's a huge void there, and there's so much more value to be gained by doing that. You know how to value. Oh, you heard it all. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Yeah. But man, I'd get on that. I'd be all over that. People love how tos, whether they have one or not. Hell, you know what? Some of the more fun videos that I found. Have you seen the you guys and actually you folks that are watching this after the live show? Have you seen those videos of the old dealer slideshows where they compare like last night's was I think a Dodge Demon and it was either Maverick or a Mustang. I can't remember because there was also the Charger and the Mustang or Charger. Yeah, but I love those things. They're all made pretty much in the '60s and the '70s before, before they would go through the expense of sending videos to every one of their dealerships. So what they would do is they would send these slideshows with a record album, and, and it's so funny because they'd sit on a slide and they talk about it, and then you'd hear this boom, and then that was your cue to advance to the next slide. So every one of the dealerships would have a slide machine and play these on a record player. It was so awesome. Oh, boo. Muscle Car Appraisal's taking jabs at me. He tells me no one likes Mustangs. Oh, boo. Bad Muscle Car Appraisal. He said he's sorry he had to do it, and he did have to do it. I was singing the Mustang's praises when he was on the show. So in case you catching this and haven't looked at the other ones, yeah, but try that strategy out. Snowy, hey, you did make it. What time is it down under there? Oh, and I really want to know, and I know this already because if you guys go through some of my comments on the other videos, Snowy was telling me about some health issues, and I really want to know how that came out. If you'd like to email me, that'd be great, and we could talk about it. But yeah, good to see you on the show. Good to see you on the show. We're talking about the YouTube search module, the Dropdown specifically, and it's doing more for Muscle Car Appraisal than it is for my channel. But I'm just going through the who, what, where, when, why, and hows, and and I'm not likely to find anything there. What might be best for me would be think of a broad subject and do a search on it, kind of like we did with the Mustang, kind of like we did with what was the last one we were doing? It was pretty good, but I can't remember. But yeah, if I maybe some sort of news story, but like I said, I don't really want to get political on the show. Just want to keep it light and airy and kind of a primer to get some people on. But yeah, it's been interesting for sure, and really it's turned out to be more of an SEO lesson than it is an aid in helping me pick topics 5 times a week. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. 11:30 a.m. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It sucks for folks that are working over there, but it just shows your recent searches. Yeah, and it is apt to do that. That's part of the algorithm. Part of the algorithm looks at what you've the type of videos that you've watched, because we've all got a history when we cruise YouTube. Even if you're surfing YouTube and you're not even logged in, it's laying a cookie down on your machine, and it keeps track of the links that you've hit, and sometimes that will taint the search results. So your drop down, if you dig those car dealership videos, you're likely to get something that's right along those lines. You're supposed to be impartial. There he goes again, poking at the Ford guy again. I know. we we in our family, Champworks Garage says, "Haha, it's funny. It's fun across all manufacturers." It really is. In my family, we've got people that at least one or two, and it's usually guys. Women don't normally care about it, but the guys, they're we've got a couple Ford guys, couple Chevy guys, couple Dodge guys. Don't really have anybody that sings some of the foreign car praises, but because it's usually based around trucks or muscle cars, and they're kind of Johnny come latelys in some respects. And none of us are really spring chickens, although there are a couple of the young bucks that have learned from your old dads. Yes. Those are, of course, I don't know if I'd use YouTube for those muscle car appraisal, but Lord knows I've done the exact same thing. Hell, you want to find out how much the interwebs know about you, do a search on your name. You're bound to find stuff that you didn't believe that was there, unless you keep a really low profile. But me, I've been in the interactive arts for, well, honestly, since about 1993. That's a long time. And as a web designer early on, I created a ton of content for the web. And yeah, it's a YouTube search. Um, and in fact, I've even thought about some old graphics that I've developed, and like animated GIFs. I'll do a search on those, and I'll find them still out there. It's the strangest thing in the world. Strangest thing in the world. If you look, I'll give you an example. If you look for remember the old cherries on the top of police cars in the States? If you look for those and you see one that flashes red to blue, chances are I did that. I am way back in like '94. I created that animated GIF. There's another one with this is going to look weird, but I worked at a Fox station. I'm gonna try to emulate this. This could get ugly. Hopefully, it won't turn into a meme. But if you see spotlights, like I'm gonna try to get them over in the corner. Can I do that? Oh no! I'd have to back up severely and do some weird contortions that I'm far too old for. But they're two like golden can spotlights, and they just go like that with white graphic beams that come out from them, and they just twist like that. I did that back in '93, '94 for my first ever website. Well, no, my first ever graphic website. And that blows me away every time I do that. Hell, I think I told you in one of my very early videos that I did all at the time. I think there was only 24 NFL teams. I did every one of their helmet designs in Microsoft Paint. And when I say Paint, I'm talking about what is this, like 16-bit pixel art. I recreated every one of them. Even the at that time the Oilers were still around, so we had the oil rig behind the guy, the center on the football. Same way with the Patriots. Another was a center with he was supposed to be like a Minuteman with the center. Um, what other funky helmet designs have changed so drastically? I know. Snowy, I'm an old fart. I've been in this business and in the internet for far too long, far too long. It's honestly it's time to open up a bed and breakfast and go away quietly. I think. No, I'm not gonna do that. Screw it. That's why I'm here. I have too much fun, and I've always had fun doing it, which is why I loved it. Like I've said before, I'm classically trained as an electronic engineer. That's how I got into broadcast television. and uh, and the website just opened up a world for me, just an absolute world that I completely enjoyed. Jackson Draws will tell you. We talked last night and talked to him about drawing. I'm an artist from way back. Some of my favorite things to do, what wasn't drawing, was but painting. And here we go, talking about me again. But yeah, then I left that for a while. I did a lot of oil painting, but I left that for a while and getting back into in graphic arts, on the confusers, computers, was just so cool. And I'm like, oh, I found it. Now I know what I'm going to do. And of course, that does get old after a while. If you like new and different things and taking on new challenges, then go out and take on those new challenges. And I have, and that's why I moved all the way through the web development ranks and owned a couple companies that did web development for several companies, some Fortune 500s. But damn it, we're talking about me again. Okay, I hope you guys are learning something from this, if nothing else. I'm so excited about those how to value your X car, whatever the car that is, how to value it. That would just blow up, dude. Just blow up. Because it seems like there's zero competition. I wonder if there's what if I said how to, and I'll go over here so you can all watch this happening. How to value your what? I'm sorry. Really? How to value your husband? I'm not going to say that blew up in my face, but that was cool. Oh yeah, okay. Maybe I'll create a video on that. Gosh, I just hit. Why do I keep hitting enter? Okay, YouTube, you got me. How to value your husband, how to value your time, your company, Pokemon card startup businesses. Look, there you go. There you go, Must Car Appraisal. Do you see it down there? How to value your car. And of course, followed up with what else but how to value your wife. Now see, I got to go watch those. I got to go find out if they're actually videos that tell you exactly how to value your husband or your wife. Oh, now I'm on a mission. Now I have a mission. Why do you mock me, YouTube? Why do you mock me? Okay, so what that told me was that, yeah, people are actually searching for that. I'm talking to you. I'm just going to, well, no, I'll spell it out. Muscle car appraisal. I was going to start calling it MCA because that sounds cool. But don't change your YouTube handle. I think that's perfect. I mean, it's totally descriptive. At any rate, that somebody is searching for how to appraise your or value your car, and that if you get granular on that, forget about it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when we take that to the next level. So, how to value your car? What comes up? Oh, let me go to the big one. What comes up? How much is my car worth? Getting the best trade-in value for my car. Now, see that. Oh, cool, Snowy. Yes, please do. Oh, excuse me. It's not hard. There's a. Let me get out of this real fast. There. Whoops. There is a link here that you can enter into into any browser, or you can. There's a link. Should be a link in the description box there. And if you find it in this description box, let me know. I'm not going to go to my own video and see. Justin, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on. You missed it. We're talking about, Justin, this is just for you. We're talking about how one would value your husband or your wife. Do you have any idea how that might happen? Neither do we. And when you go back and watch the rest of the video, you'll know exactly what we were talking about. All right. Snowy, can you hear me? You
Hello.
got to get. Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm just fine. God, I love the Aussie accent.
I made it myself.
Yeah. Homegrown, right?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm so excited I made it to a show.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. We've been talking via the comments for what seems like well, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, a few weeks. I really
Yeah.
love your show. It's awesome.
Oh, well, thanks.
We don't have
Thanks so much.
call-in shows here, so it's something
Really.
new.
Snowy, you're starting to worry me. Um, if I might jabber here for a minute, I've I've been selling things across the pond to you guys for a long time, and what I mean by that is I used to build drums and like snare drums and things, and a lot of you guys would or just buy those from me. I didn't take orders or anything, and I got to meet a whole lot of good people. We kept a good conversation going for a long time, but I had no idea two things. One, you didn't have talk shows over there, and two, you don't have e-cigs either. Just they're just not allowed. Is that right?
Yeah, the if it's got nicotine in it, it's illegal completely. But depending on
Wow.
what state you're in, you can get the juice with no nicotine in it.
Uh huh.
Um, you can't buy or sell them here, but if you do, there's they're like $500, $300 just to buy a basic set. So
What?
yeah, they're
Oh.
petitioning to get it made legal though.
Oh God, I hope it works. For your guys' sake, I hope it works. Now, did I understand that you're a smoker?
Yeah,
Mm,
I want to quit though. Well, I really need to quit though.
yeah. And did you watch my vaping show from last night?
Yeah, I watched that. That was a good one. I wanted to oh, I still kind of want to try it, but yeah, what happened to my uncle, that really scared me and put me off because
I,
he
I
had
wouldn't let it scare you.
he tried it. He bought it cheap off eBay, and his heart rate went up, and they couldn't stop it for 3 hours, and he ended up
Mm,
spending the night in hospital. But he's all right
wow,
now. But yeah,
that's
apparently
good.
it was to do with the vape.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of that sort of reaction to a vape. So I have to imagine, like I said in the comments, that it was probably just some shady brand, and I think you agreed.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because I don't know, eBay. Anyone can do anything to anything, I guess. You never
Yeah.
know.
Do you know it? Do you happen to know if it came from like China, straight from China?
I think it came from like Bali or something, which
Oh,
is like,
okay.
oh, well, Bali's like a 4 hour flight from the top of Australia, but everything's like super cheap and imitation, sort of kind of like China is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Not really trustworthy, right?
not really. Not good quality.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Yeah. So what I would suggest to you, and is am I correct in assuming that you still can buy them from eBay or maybe other e-commerce places, or you just can't buy and sell them right there in Australia?
Physically in Australia, you can't, but you
Okay.
can order them internationally and bring them
Oh,
in
okay.
to Australia.
Oh,
Even the nicotine, depending on what state you're in. I'm in Western Australia,
sure.
so nicotine is banned completely.
Wow. Well, nicotine outside of cigarettes, right?
Oh yeah, outside of cigarettes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they would they be able to find out if you or let's say you ordered from a reputable vape company, would they be able to find out if you had if it had nicotine in it?
Um, Actually, I don't know how they check that
Yeah, I don't know if
because I don't
customs.
open the mail here.
Okay, okay. Well, then customs
So
probably wouldn't put a hold on it unless it said on the outside, contains nicotine.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's what I would do. There is a forum out there, and I'm sure you can get a hold of it. It's ECF, and I think it's Electronic Cigarette Forum. And you'll have to do a
Okay.
search because I don't think that's the exact URL. But go on there and find some reputable manufacturers, right? Of
Yep.
e-juice, of e-cig. Most of the e-cig electronics come from China, but it's the e-cig juice that you're really that would really cause even the problem like your uncle had. And find out what everybody thinks is the reputable. Still there? Pond problems.
Yep.
Are you still
I
there?
accidentally bumped my mic.
Oh,
I accidentally muted my mic.
oh, okay. So did you hear me?
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, find out what they're saying, and I think you'll find I could actually send you. You see right here. Whoops, right there is my email address. Do you see it right in the middle? Videocallin@gmail.com. Drop me a line,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah, drop me a line, and I'll actually send you a couple of companies that I use and have used for years. So I know their product is reputable. And in fact, last night's show, I actually showed one of them from the vapor station.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But you won't. Yeah, you won't have that kind of problem out of that. And I'm just trying to do for you what I've done for other people. And if you really want to get off of it, this is one of the best ways to do it. Because I have to assume that you've tried everything like I did. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
doctor.
brutal.
Oh, he sent me for chest X-rays to see if I've got either lung cancer or COPD.
Uh
But
huh.
he says that I'm too young to have it. I haven't been smoking long enough, so he doesn't think there's
Oh,
anything wrong with me.
well,
But
that's
we'll
good.
find out
You do
next
sound.
week.
Yeah, you do sound younger
Um,
than I thought.
yeah, I'm 30. Hang on, how old am I? 36 in May,
You
I
don't have
will
to
be.
say. Yeah, you don't have to say. Of course, we're not
Just
watching you,
forget how
so
old I am these days.
Oh, tell me about it. The older I get, the harder it becomes to remember.
Oh, no, right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
only
that's good. That's
36.
that's really. Well, that is good news. That you're that young and haven't smoked for as long. Hell, I smoked as long as you've been alive, and I'm doing okay. Here we are 10 years later, being on e-cigs. So I really think now's the time for you. I wouldn't wait too much longer.
Yeah, that gives me hope.
Good. Yeah.
I
So
I
drop me
was
an email.
like really worried that it was like too late.
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose I should ask how much are you smoking a day normally?
Oh, about 20 or so. Yeah, about a
Yeah.
pack a
So about a
day.
pack. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what I did. Yep, yep. So no, I wouldn't say that it's too late. Um, I had 10 years on you when I decided to quit. So no, but wait for that result. In fact, the doctors here, many of the doctors here don't buy into the hyperbole, and they actually say, look, if you want to vape, if it'll get you to stop smoking, then do it. So we're kind of having a turnaround. I hope that petition works for you guys.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it does. But we'll find
And
out,
I
I
hope your
guess.
uncle's doing okay.
Oh yeah, he's doing good now. He's he's a paramedic up at the top
Oh,
end of Australia.
okay.
He's on holidays at the moment, but yeah, He works like
Mm-hmm.
12-hour shifts a day. And it's like, far out. I don't know how you do it.
Wow. Hmm. So, I'm gonna let's jump off that subject for a minute. You guys are what in the middle of summer, aren't you? Pretty
Yeah,
much.
middle of
Yeah.
summer.
What?
It doesn't end
Tell us
until
about
like
the.
early March. Early
Oh,
April start cooling down.
that's funny because we all look for March as the start of spring here. It's like it's like oh cool, we're into March and we get rid of all this cold ass weather.
I would love
The-
to have snow for Christmas. That would be so awesome. Well, I've never seen snow, so I'd
yeah.
just love
Well,
to see it.
where you're at, does it snow in the wintertime, which I know is off Christmas season, but do you get snow?
Not where I am, like Melbourne,
No.
like down
Oh.
middle of the south of the south middle of the country. They have a ski resort, but
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm in the lower west of Australia. But no, we've never had snow. But they're just starting to
Wow.
get like little bits right down the south of our country, which is really unusual.
Have you seen snow? I have to ask.
We went to Germany in '98, and the snow was on top of the mountain. I was at the bottom of it, and that's about as close as I've got.
Oh really? So you've like never felt snow?
No,
Wow.
I'd love to build a
You're like the
snowman. I tried to build a snowman out of the frost in the freezer, but it didn't work the same.
I can't imagine it would. Oh yeah. Well, hey, if you ever get a chance, go up into those mountains and play around in it for a while. You won't want to for very long because let's face it, it is cold. But yeah, go up, have some fun with it.
I definitely want to go.
See, I've here in Indy, we see snow every single year. There's no question that we're going to get it. Usually at the end of December throughout February.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, after 55 years, I'm pretty much tired of snow. I want to move south.
Send it here. I'll send you some of our summer heat. We're getting
Yeah.
up to like 42 degrees and all that sort of stuff. Oh, but that's in Celsius. So
Celsius,
it's
yeah, I was
like
just gonna
around
say.
104 to F
Ooh,
and
wow,
higher
yeah, 100 degrees.
around here. It's like I'm sick of
Wow.
it already.
Uh-huh.
That's every summer
Jeez.
for you.
Yeah, yeah. So see, no, that's not an extreme we have. We sit usually well in the 90s in the summertime Fahrenheit.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad at all. Up in Washington State, where I spent my military time, it rarely got above 80. Um, so I thought that was perfect weather. It was like fall all year round.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
So what are you doing in down in the?
Um, oh, well, at the moment, I just like stay home and look after my mum.
Oh,
She's
okay,
in her
okay.
70s and that, so
Well,
I help
don't
her
say
and
just. Yeah,
play
don't say
games.
just. That's a hell of a job. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A bit tough, but yeah, it's not that bad. I don't mind actually. I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing something good, but yeah, a lot of people around town just turn around. Oh, they think I'm lazy, don't want to work, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
probably.
I'm trying to stay awake 24/7 to look after my mom.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thankless job and it's a tough job. It really is.
Yeah,
Most uh, most people just ship them off to the nearest home. So I
yeah,
commend you for
that's
that.
it. I really could. Oh no, I don't know how people do that. Because
I
my
don't
mum
either.
looked after her mum as well. I think it's in the European side of us, all
Yeah,
family stick
yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but and it's probably it's probably a little bit different where you're at, but even in the states, there are areas within the states where it's more common to take care of your folks as they get older, and that just goes on for generations, still to this day. But I think the more modern um, or the more hustle and bustle rat race type of the becomes life, people tend to just think, okay, well, now there are all these nursing homes opening up. Do you find that fewer people are watching their taking care of their parents in their sunset years than in years past? I knew you're only 36, but
Yeah, it's like that here as well. People are mostly
yeah.
sending their parents off to homes and that sort of stuff. But you mostly see um, the Europeans. They will
Mm-hmm.
still look after their parents and that. But yeah, city people not at all. I live in
Yeah.
the country, so
Yeah. Seems to be a trend, and a lot of people would say where we're at is the country. That's only because it's not on the east or the west coast, and that seems to define a lot
oh
of the
okay, yeah.
United States. Yeah. So you'll find it a whole lot more in the center of our country than you will at the extremes. So I know we're not that far apart on that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I find it really weird how some people in America have never seen the beach before. That is so weird. And
Mm,
Americans probably think it's weird that we've never seen snow.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, because the beach is like only a 2 hour drive from us, and you're usually like at
Well,
least a couple of hours away from the beach, and that's it.
yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with climate, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because like in the center of Australia where you got all the desert, it reaches
Hmm.
like 115 F and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Temperatures you
not
just
not a
can't
lot of
stick, put people.
yeah, not a lot of people, a lot of people. It's not a lot of population out there. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
not that much.
yeah. I'm really surprised that you meet so many people, or you've talked to so many people from the U.S. that have never been to the beach. Because here, let you know a little secret. Most of us who are landlocked, like where Indiana is at. If you look at a map of the United States, you can see we're smack dab in the middle. Yeah, we got a beach up north, but it's a freshwater lake. But almost everyone I know at one time or another makes one or several trips to a beach as
Oh yeah,
vacation.
yeah.
Hmm. That really
That'd be a great
surprises me.
reason for
So
a
you
holiday.
oh yeah. That actually rules so many people's holiday. That is their idea of the perfect getaway is to find a beach, and it's usually down in Florida or the East Coast or way out on the West Coast in California, but Southwest Coast in California. But that shocks me. That really shocks me.
Yeah, there's quite a
So
few of them. I was like, wow.
huh? You guys go quite often then, right?
Oh, not so much anymore, but yeah, used to as a kid,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
weekends and that sort of stuff. Even just a day
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. And yeah, I guess if I lived about 2 hours away from the beach, I'd do the same thing. Of course, it doesn't happen here in the heartland, but yeah, that would be awesome. My wife would love that. She's just a beach nut, man. She loves to be on the water. Are you married, Snowy?
That's awesome. Oh no, I'm single.
How are you? Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing happening
Well, I don't know that we need to dive into that anymore.
there.
Oh, I'll let you drive that conversation.
I've got a dog if that counts for kids.
I'd say so. I have two dogs myself, and now that I'm an empty nester, I've got two kids still living in the house.
Hey, that's it.
Yep, got to feed them, got to help them go to the bathroom. At least let them out. And yeah, and then
Yeah,
you
exactly.
always have to. Yeah, you got to plan your day trips around when they've got to go out. It's very similar.
Hang on.
What kind of dogs do you have?
One's jumping all over me now.
As they
She's
do.
a rescue dog.
Okay.
She
Mm-hmm.
had 4 homes before us, and
Did you say
she
4
had
homes?
puppies by the time she was 1. So we got her when she was 2.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, poor thing. Nobody wanted her.
Mm.
Now she's living with us and settled in and absolutely loves me.
So you just got the one?
Yeah, that's the one. I'm thinking about getting
What?
another one, but I don't want the dogs tripping up mum and that sort of thing, so I'll
Oh
just stick to
yeah,
the one I
yeah,
got.
yeah. We worry about that all the time with our in-laws as well. They've got a little, yip yip dog that runs around their ankles all the time, and they're not too steady on their feet, being both 90 years old. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So what breed is it? Is
It's a
she
Staffy Kelpie cross. She's brown and gold.
brown and gold?
Brindle,
Okay.
that's what you call it, yeah. So she's a
Oh,
medium-sized
okay.
dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like our labs. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah, about
Very
that
nice.
size.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lab and a cockapoo, which is a mix of a cocker spaniel and a poodle. So she's a relatively
Oh,
small dog.
wow.
Mm-hmm. But she's hypoallergenic. She doesn't shed at all, and that was the biggest selling point to my wife.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had to get poodles when I was little because of the allergies and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
have cats, so dogs it is.
We're at 11:12, and that must mean what 12 after 12 for you? Is that you? Are you
Yeah, 12, 12.
13 hours? Okay, yeah. So you're about 13 hours difference. That's cool. Let me ask you a question real fast. Do you have
Sure.
are you even aware of daylight savings time? Do you guys do that?
Um, yeah, we do have daylight savings. Hang on. Sorry. We have daylight savings time, but I think it's all the states have it except for Western Australia because
Oh, really?
we've voted it out. We had
Yeah.
they've been trying to vote it in for 40 years, but we kept saying no.
Mm.
Like we had to adjust our clocks 3 hours ahead, but then we ended up
Oh, okay.
voting it out for the last time. So we'll never have daylight savings again, which is great.
Yeah.
But all the
Lucky you.
farmers had trouble with it because the cows can't adjust their clocks to 8 and that sort of stuff. So it was really hard for them.
Yeah. Who would have thunk cows couldn't adjust, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's funny though because Indiana used to be the last holdout state, and in fact, when you fired up your PC and you had to set your time and everything, you would have a special time slot for Indiana East, which would leave us on the Eastern Standard Time all throughout the year. And then for some reason, the morons decided to change it to daylight savings time. But the reason was the farmers. The farmers kept it standard time all day long, or all year long. God, I wish we'd go back. I hate daylight savings time. You wake up when it's
I
dark.
hate it
You go to
too.
you
So
you
I'm
get
glad
off
we
work
don't
when it's
have it.
dark. Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm ranting now,
Oh no, you're
as I
fine.
tend to do. I tend to do that.
Hey, I can tell you on occasion.
Yeah, you've seen some of my videos. It's no secret. Well, listen, Snowy. I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to cut our time short here, if that's okay with you. I'm so glad you
Yeah, that's no worries. I'd need to go make lunch and that sort of stuff as well.
got lunch.
Well, thank you for having
It's,
me. That was awesome.
oh, I'm so glad you were finally able to make it live, and of course, like always, I always invite my guests back because you know that's what this channel is all about to talk to as many people as often as I possibly can. Why not?
Yeah, I'll
So you
definitely
will,
come back. Hopefully, I'll make another one.
sweet, absolutely, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Snowy. I'm gonna let you go, hun, and
No
I'm
worries.
gonna close the show down. You take care of
Okay.
yourself. Make sure that you make sure that you email me so that I can get you as much information as I possibly can about that because I'd like to see you get off the cancer sticks as soon as possible, and or do whatever you
Yeah,
want
I'll
to.
email
You
you
know.
shortly.
Okay, awesome. All right, thanks so much, Noe.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet. Bye bye.
And, see ya.
Well, we finally got Snowy on. It's I have a special place in my heart for those folks down under. I wasn't pulling any legs when I said I've had a lot of dealings like eBay sales. Well, you know, I'll sell some of the things that I've even created or stuff that I no longer need. And I get a lot of people when I open it up internationally. I get a lot of people from Australia that will order and buy it, and I am more than happy to do it. In fact, we actually did a whole bunch of trades with a guy down in Australia with radio control cars. You know, the 10th scale radio control car parts and accessories that when we were getting out of the game, and we corresponded for a couple of years after that. It was really cool. So yeah, gonna wish Snowy all the best. I can't wait to talk to her about vaping a little bit more, and I hope that goes through for him. I really do. Well, folks, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. It was a really fun show for me. Um, oh, they are? Wow. Jeez. I just can't imagine. Can't imagine. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun, folks. We're gonna have Snowy back on, and maybe I'll keep you updated on how that goes. If we can't get her back on the show right away, I know it's tough with the 13-hour time difference. I get it, but we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Thanks again, um, all my guests in the chat area. You guys were great. Justin Bennett, Snowy Rains, of course, Champworks Garage. Um, we also had at the beginning, I don't know where he went, but Jackson Draws and Muscle Car Appraisal. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Um, you guys are what makes this all worthwhile. And please, by all means, make sure you share this video and like and comment. And I try to answer every single one of them. If you're watching this after the live show, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of these shows. I go on live every night at 10 p.m. I'm going to leave you with this. Remember to always treat others how you want to be treated. The world will be a better place. All right. Thanks, folks, and take care. We will see you live.